Okay, so let's set up the position, and then we're going to start with our number one chess tactic pattern, which is the fork. The fork is the most important one that we need to know. So we are going to see this is an opening trap that happens in the d4 system. So the opening is d4, knight f6, and here knight to f3, knight f3, c5, bishop to f4, bishop to f4, c takes, knight takes. Right, so after knight takes d4, we are going to see the first tactical pattern, which is the fork. Now, the double attack is the official name of this tactic. It's called a double attack, or it's called a fork. Now, a double attack or a fork is an attack against two or more objects. Now, many players or many books teach it as pieces, but it's really an attack on. Welcome, Dione. Good to have you here. All right, so Dione is just connecting to the audio. Welcome. I think they can hear us, but his audio is not connected yet. But okay, whilst he's joining, so the double attack or the fork is an attack against two or more objects. So I'm going to first use a basic position to show this to us. So like for instance here, just set up a general position that will teach us. So a fork or a double attack is an attack on two or more objects. Now, here we can see that black is attacking our bishop on c2. Welcome, Dione.
Yes.
Yeah, we are just starting with the first tactical pattern that we are going to be learning, which is the fork or the double attack. So I'm just going to be showing us some basic images. Then we'll see how it works in real games. We'll do a lot of examples, and then we're also going to cover the pin. All right. So yeah, we are just going to continue from here now. So the rook here is attacking the bishop, but now we can use the double attack. The double attack or the fork. Now I said the double attack is when you attack two or more objects. Now here, or rather let's use an easy word. Two or more targets. The target can be pieces. So here, the target are the two rooks. So this is the easy position of a double attack, is attacking two or more targets at the same time. So the targets are the two rooks here. We have a rook on b7 and a rook on g2. So these two are under attack. Now, this is the basic position of a double attack. Now, also what is important is that it can also be an attack of an important square, as I'll show you this position now. Like here, let's set up a position where I can show you that it doesn't always have to be an attack against two pieces. It can be any target. It can be a square, it can be a weak square, and all of this. So it's important to remember that, so that you don't miss some important double attacks because you just think that it means it's an attack on two or more pieces. It's actually not correct. So in this position, let's, the queen is not here now. The queen is here. And there is a queen here. And we'll put some pawns here. So, yes, this is the position. Everything is in order. So it is white to play. Now, we said a double attack or a fork is an attack on two or more targets. The target can be a piece, it can be a square, or an attack on a weak square. So here we can make a double attack. Who sees the double attack that we can make in this position? Okay, Johan?
Queen to c5.
Yeah, queen to c5 is a good double attack. Very good. We attack 2 or more targets. So our targets are the bishop and the knight. But there is a very famous saying by a very, very strong chess master who was a world champion for more than 26 years. Emmanuel Lasker, he's famously said, when you find a good move, find a better move. So what is the better move that we can find here? That is a double attack. So when you have
Queen to c3.
yes, please, you must raise your hand before you answer. Very good, Johan. Wonderful. Queen c3 attacks the bishop, but then it attacks a weak square. So this is another version of a double attack. It's an attack on 2 or more targets. So the target is the bishop on c4, and the other target is the pawn on g7. We are threatening checkmate. So if our opponent moves away, we are going to checkmate them on g7. If the bishop goes to d5, we'll capture the pawn on g7 with checkmate. If the pawn is defended, we are going to capture the piece, right? Okay, so that's what a double attack is, and every single piece on the chessboard can perform a double attack. Every piece, the pawn can make a double attack, the king can make a double attack, the rook can make a double attack, the bishop can make a double attack, the queen can make a double attack, as well as the knight can make a double attack. So all the pieces on the board can make a double attack. Now let's see some of this. Now here, how can the pawn make a double attack? Johan?
d4.
d4, yes. So d4 is a double attack. You see here, the pawn can make a double attack or a fork. Yeah, Rainan's hand was raised, but yeah, Johan had raised his hand just before. So you must, I'll check out the notification in time. But yeah, I think you all saw the same idea. d4, so very good. d4 here, the pawn is attacking the 2 rooks. And this is the power of it. Yeah, Samuel?
When one of the rooks moves, the pawn will take, and then that rook that wasn't captured will just attack the c pawn or e pawn then.
Yes.
Then it can't become a queen.
No, it can't become a queen, unfortunately, but at least it takes one of the rooks. So that's why we should use double attacks or forks, because we can win material. Now, this is an important thing, guys. In chess, when you make a threat that attacks 2 or more things, the opponent has no chance to defend all of them. They can only defend at least one of them, but not all of them. That's the power of the double attack. It is the most important tactical pattern to remember, the double attack. So we see here that the pawn can make a double attack. Now let's see how the king can make a double attack. So, okay, Johan, you can put your hand down this time. Yeah, put your hand down. All right, so Samuel, how can the king make a double attack?
d4.
Yes, very good. King d4. You see, there is the evidence for us. The proof is that the king can also make a double attack. Here, the king is attacking the pawn on the rook on e5 and the rook on c5. So we are making a double attack. Okay, now let's see the next piece. So the next piece we are going to look at is the cute little horsey, right? So Vainand, how can the cute little horsey make a double attack?
Knight d7.
Yes, very good. Knight to d7. Knight to d7 is a double attack. Both rooks are under attack by the knight, and the double attack is an attack on 2 or more targets. And here, one of the rooks must run away, but will capture one of them. And that is the power of this tactical pattern. Okay, now let's move on to the next piece. Okay, not the king, no. All right. Okay, this one we can't really make it work with the bishops. Let's get another diagram.
4, H4.
All right. So now we can also see that the bishop does make a double attack. And here, the double attack is obvious. 2 or more targets. The bishop on e4 is going to be attacking both the rooks. The rook on b7 and the rook on f3. So now let's look at the rook. Let's look at how the rook can make a double attack. So in this position, okay, Johan, your hand is raised. Yeah.
I know the move.
Okay, what is the move?
Rook to e5.
Yes, very good. Rook to e5. Rook to e5 attacking 2 targets. So the target is the knight and the bishop on c5. So one of the pieces must be lost. They can't both defend each other. They're too far apart. And here, when the bishop moves away, we'll capture the knight. Okay, so we are going to see the last piece that can make a double attack, which is what? Which is the last piece? Yes, queen. Very good. The queen is the last piece. And here we have such a position. Okay, now in this position, okay, Samuel, your hand is up.
Queen E4.
Very good, Samuel. Queen to e4, very powerful double attack with 2 targets. The one target is the king, and the other target is the rook on g6. And now, when the king moves away, because it is in check, there is an important rule in chess. We must never leave our king under attack. The king must never be put in under. We mustn't move our king into attack, and we mustn't leave the king in an attack space. So the king has to move. And here we capture the rook. So we have seen the basic position. Now let's see it in real games. So we'll start with this very easy diagram for now. So this is a trap in the d4 openings. So d4, knight to f3, knight to f3, knight f6, sorry, and then knight f3, c5, bishop to f4, pawn captures on d4, and knight takes on. So we want to look at this from black's perspective, from the side of board where black is sitting. So after the knight captures on d4, Samuel?
Queen A4. I mean, yeah, A5.
Okay, so queen a5 is check, which is good, right? But queen a5 check is not a double attack at the moment. It just gives us check. So usually it's good to give check. Yeah, it's good to give check. But we must never give check if there's nothing we are going to get out of the check. So that's an important thing that I would like for you to learn. Never give check unless you are getting an advantage, right? So, Johan?
Queen. If you play queen to a5, and then he plays c3, and then you can play e5.
Yes, that's you at least looked a bit farther, right? But it's not enough.
If the queen plays there, the bishop will just block.
Yeah, but then even, yeah, the bishop will block. But even in this one, how can white play the best move? Because that's also an important thing. When you want to calculate, Samuel?
Not b3.
Exactly. Counter-attack time, right? We are counter-attacking by attacking the queen, and our bishop is now suddenly safe. So that one is not working, but both of you have suggested the ideas. So now the correct move is e5. E5 is the double attack. E5 is attacking 2 targets at the same time, the knight and the bishop. Now, Samuel?
If the bishop takes it, just queen a5 again.
Exactly. Now you see why it is important to learn pattern recognition. We learn to see the patterns. Now we had seen just the check, but now we are, from what we have learned, we are starting to see it in real time. There, queen a5 check is now a double attack. The one target is the king and the other target is the bishop. And here, white must lose their bishop and we pick up the piece. So now we are going to do, let's try and do about, let's say 4 positions. Okay, there's 3 of you. So let's do 3 positions so that we have time to look at how grandmasters use this powerful double attack. It is the most important chess tactic that you must master, finding double attacks. And it's important you remember the way I'm telling you, it's not attacking 2 pieces at the same time, it's attacking 2 targets at the same time. This way you'll never miss a double attack if it is attacking a square or a piece, because it still remains a double attack. Okay, so now we're going to, so I'll make a position for each one. So the first one, this position Vainand is going to do, and then the next position Samuel, and then the last position Johan. All right, so let's see this diagram then. Okay, so the 2 rooks are here. So this is the situation on the chessboard. There's 5 versus 5. There's a knight versus bishop, the 2 rooks. And in this position, it is the white's turn to play. So let's flip. No, this position is for Vainand, Johan. You when your turn comes, I'll give you your position. Don't worry. Vainand.
Rook d7.
Okay, rook d7 check is a double attack with 2 targets, the rook and the king. Okay, and then I take your rook.
Rook takes d7.
Yes, rook takes d7 check. Now you see the power of the double attack. We make 2 targets. We have the king and the bishop, and the king must move away, and then we'll capture the bishop. Very good, Vainand. Well done. And now this is how we can use the double attack in our games. Because listen, guys, we are not just learning these tactics to keep them in our heads. We want to make sure we use them in our games. We want to see the patterns in our games and use them. Okay, well done, Vainand. Now we are going to go to the next position. So the next position is this. And the next position is for Samuel. So get ready, Samuel. This is the position for you. All right. Okay. So, okay. Right. This is the situation. So now you are playing with the white pieces here, Samuel. How can you use this chess pattern you have learned, the double attack, to win this game? So how can you create this pattern? Because that's the whole point. Sometimes you can't see it, but you must make it happen. You must create a double attack and then try to use it to win powerfully.
f5.
F5 check, okay. And then I capture.
Knight d4.
Knight d4 check. Very good, Samuel. Well done. And now you see that's the power of the double attack. We have 2 targets, the king and the queen. Now, of course, the king is under attack, so the opponent must move their king. We must never leave our king under attack. So the king moves away somewhere. King goes here. And then here, white is clearly winning. White is up with the rook and the knight. So it's easily winning. Now, Johan, this is your position now. Actually, maybe let's do a little bit more examples. We still have, maybe let's do 6. Each one will do 2 of these positions. So we'll do Johan, and then we'll change up the order again. So Johan, I'm setting up your position, so get ready. All right. All right. So this is the position that Johan is doing. Okay. And in this position, it is the white's turn. So Johan, how can you use the chess pattern of a double attack to win in this position?
Rook to d7.
You said rook to d7.
Yes.
Okay, let's try it. Rook to d7, and then I play king to b8. So it's not this one, right? It's not this one. So let's try to, let's give it one more time, Samuel. Johan, try to see, first of all, by the way, I know we are learning tactical patterns, but to be good at looking at tactical patterns, you also need to be able to calculate properly. So what does the opponent want to do in this position? What does the opponent want to do? Johan, what does black
Take
want
our
to do?
knight.
They want to take your knight. What else does black want to do?
Take your queen.
Take your queen, right? So now with that in mind, it means we need to make moves that are very fast, right? Moves that are forcing, which is always checks, captures, and threats. But we must keep in mind, our lesson is we need to create a double attack to win powerfully. So how can you do that, Johan? One more try, and then Samuel can help you if you don't get it.
Queen c4.
Yes, very good, Johan. Wonderful. Answer is queen to c4 check. All right. Okay, now if I play king to b6 and then
Knight d7.
exactly, there we go. Now there is the double attack. That's the power of the double attack. We got out of the threats, and both of our pieces that were under attack are suddenly safe. And now we have used this pattern of the double attack to our rescue, and we are winning a queen even. The king must move somewhere, and then we'll capture the queen. And here, black is losing. Okay, so all right, so Vainant, you are coming back again. You are going to start. Okay, no, let's start with Samuel this time. Vainant, you can go last. I'll start with Samuel, then we'll go with Johan, and then Vainant can come back. All right, so I'll set up the next position. So here, oh yeah. So, okay, now we are going to, let's do Samuel's position, and then, like I said, you must just quickly go out of Zoom and then come back to this same line, because this Zoom is the one that is time limit. So don't worry, you can just log out and come back right away, and I'll be here waiting for you. Right, that's all you need to do, but not now. We'll just finish with Samuel's position, and when we are done, then you can go out and come back again. and we can continue right away. Okay, so here is the situation for Samuel, and then we'll stop with this one. All right, so okay, we have this position on the board. It's white to play. Samuel, how can you use a double attack to win powerfully in this position? How can you create a double attack? Because you can't see. Now that's what we want want you to learn. Learn to create these tactics when you play. So to use them in your games, you need to make them happen. Okay, so let's see the pattern. How can we create a pattern of a double attack where we are attacking 2 or more targets? So how can we do that, Samuel?
Takes E8.
Exactly. You see, now when you think in patterns, it's not difficult to see. Suddenly,
Queen F8.
very good. Well done, Samuel. Suddenly, tactics are easy to see because we are just trying to create the pattern of a double attack, which is to attack 2 or more targets. And here we see the king is under attack as well as the knight. The king must move out of the way and we'll collect the knight. Okay, so quickly, just go out and then come back again. Right? You can log